Hi everyone! Today I want to share another little card that we made at a stamp camp. I'm always sharing my stamp camp cards. This one was a fun one because we used embossing paste, and I thought it was fun to use embossing paste. I don't usually do that at a stamp camp because it can be tricky, and so I thought I would do it in a video and you can see it. It's fun to use on your own. It's tricky at a stamp camp, but in your own home it's not so tricky. Okay, let me explain why by doing this card with you. So this is using the Merriest Trees stamps and dies, and I really love the Merriest Trees because it's kind of smart in how they did it. The dies, let me grab them. The die collection allows you to decide how tall your tree can be. So for example, if you want, you can cut out, I mean this is not true to size, but if you wanted, you could cut out just the top 3 sections, for example, and have a shorter tree, or you can cut out all the sections, or anything in between, just the top. And it allows you to, you can do different papers for each section to have like a colorful, different multi-pattern paper tree. You can do so many different things. I think it's really kind of smart, and I really enjoyed it. So here's an example of just using the 3 sections for the tree. And now we're going to do just the outline on a piece of regular Granny Apple Green cardstock, and we're not going to do the stamp at all, but it's just a smart little stamp and die set that I really think is great. Another thing they did was they put these ornaments on one stamp, and then there's multiple dies. Usually they only gave us 1 die, so you have to go through your cut machine a million times. But here you can stamp it 3 times pretty simply, and then cut all 3 out at once, which gives you 9 ornaments, which is probably enough for the tree, all in one little swoop. They also added garland on 1 die, and just kind of fun little elements. I like the little sparkles. There's a tag die in this set, and a little tree base, some stars, a couple different varieties of stars, which is fun. Anyway, really cute stamp set and really fun die set. So we're using the giant die. I also am using the stars, and you can notice how one star is a detail star. It cuts out an outline. The other one is a solid star. We're going to do both, and we're going to layer them. And we're going to use a tree base. The tree base is nice too because it has some texture to it. When you cut this out, it also embosses at the same time. So I'll show you that piece. Okay, this is still in its kit form from Stamp Camp. I always make one extra in case someone makes a mistake. Get all my little pieces out. All right, so we've got our tree, and this is Granny Apple Green, and I've already cut that out. We've got the tree base, and I wonder how well you can see the texture in the video. I'm not positive if you can, but in real life, you can see the texture. And then I've got my 2 stars. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue the stars together just so that I don't lose this little piece. And I just kind of go across so that a little bit of glue gets on the various pieces, and then I lay it down like so. Okay, so let's let that dry, and then we're going to get to that embossing paste. Now, Stampin' Up! Sells 2 types of embossing paste. One is just white, and the other one is shimmery white, and they come in these nice little tubs. I'm going to use the shimmery white just because it's here on my desk. Alright, so I've got a silicone mat down just so that I can easily clean up and not get it on my paper. And now I want to say at Stamp Camp we used the Abundant Beauty masks, which are beautiful. I love them, but they are now discontinued. Now, funny thing, they're from the mini catalog, and they are not on the carry over to next time and list. However, they're also not showing on the never to have again list either. So they may come back, who knows. They were such a great seller, and I don't think that corporate thought they would sell as well as they did, but they sold wonderfully well. I know I sold a lot of them, and they're really a great little die set. But I wanted to still show you this, even though this was just discontinued. They just sold out recently, so I thought, what other masks do I have? And I have this other one, and this is from the annual catalog, and it's still available. And it's really fun. There's actually 2 sets that are in the annual catalog that are still available, but this is the only one I have. The other one also has a good diamond pattern that would have made for a nice Christmassy background. This one has this kind of florally looking diamondy background. That's what we're going to use because I thought that kind of looks a little bit like snowflakes. It also has this kind of, what is that, a quadrifoil? How do you say that? I'm not quite sure. Mosaic tiles or something like that. Anyway, nice little pattern. And then it's got these 2, and you can use them on their own as just grid patterns and squares, or you can layer them together and make some nice plaids. So that's a fun one, or you can use the small one. So these kind of work together. And then it's got these masks here, and you can do something like shade off an area for your greeting, or you can do the opposite. You can color an area and leave a spot empty so you can have a greeting. So they give you both the inside and the outside of both of these labels. So they're kind of fun. Anyway, so that is that. Those are the stencils we're going to use. They call them masks. I call them stencils. I have to remember the technical term. They're decorative masks according to Stampin' Up. Okay, so you can tape these down. I'm going to work quickly. I don't think I need to tape them down. So I'm going to use one of my little palette knives. This is the one. They come in a little pack of 3. Pretty inexpensive, and this is my favorite shaped one. And here is the embossing paste. Again, I told you there was a couple different colors. This is shimmery white. Now they come in this little tub with a little seal, and I want to tell you the reason. Here's why it's hard to do at a stamp camp. This paste dries really fast, and so you want to close it back up instantly. You don't even want to leave it on the desk while you work. Like, close it up, seal it up, make sure it's completely closed. And it also dries on your mask and on your palette knife really fast. So I've got some on here. I like to put it on the back side, what I consider the back side, and it's like frosting is the consistency, and you just kind of want to scrape it across your mask. And for some projects, you might want to get every nook and cranny. I'm trying to do a quick little swoop, like it's just a fun little accent, kind of imperfect swoop. You can decide. Sometimes if you feel like you did it too perfectly, you might want to go ahead and finish it off perfectly. So I'm getting it in there. I'm not sure how well you can tell. And I barely used any because it's just like a thin layer. So this tub is small, but it'll last you a while. We had 14 at Stamp Camp, and I still have plenty left. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open this, and I'm going to scrape this back in. And then I'm going to close it up. You can even, I've seen people put saran wrap down in there and push it down. You know how like on guacamole, if it's left to the air, the guacamole turns brown. You want to seal it all the way to the avocado all the way down. Anyway, it's kind of like that. So I've got it sealed up. I'm good to go. So you might think I'm done with my worry. However, let's reveal. Lovely. Isn't that pretty? I really like it. But it's going to dry hard like cement on this as well. So you can have a little wipe handy, a towel, paper towel that's moist, and wipe it down. Or you can do like I'm going to do. I'm going to pause what I'm doing, jump up, go to my sink, and just rinse it down really good. It doesn't require any special tools. You just want to rinse it. Otherwise, this will harden, and you're going to be in there, really harden. And you're going to be scraping and scraping. You won't get the nice image. It'll be, kind of wonky. It'll fill in some of the holes. You'll have to get a pin and poke them all out. It'll be aggravating. Ask me how I know. So I'm going to go clean these, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and these are nice and clean. Put that aside. Okay, so I've got my background here, and I will set that aside. This, like I said, it dries really fast, so you don't have to worry too much about it. And silicone, I didn't have to worry about this because this is easiest to clean, which is why it's a great tool to have. Okay, so I've got this drying. Next, I want to use that tree. What did I do with my tree? and I want to emboss my greeting. Another thing about this set that I really like is this greeting. It's made in the shape of the tree, so you can put it right there on your tree, and it's super cute. So I think it's already on the block. Yes, it is. And I'm going to use the Versamark and emboss this in white embossing powder. So the nice thing about this particular stamp set, I love the whole concept, is that it is carrying over into the next. It's not discontinuing, even though it's in the mini catalog. Some stamp sets and things and papers and whatnot are retiring at the end of this catalog, but Stampin' Up! Decided to hold this one over. So that might mean that they're just holding it over temporarily, or that might mean that it'll be in the next annual catalog or the next winter catalog. And so I'm happy about that. The only problem is that right now it's bundled. So if you buy the stamps and the dies together, you save 10%, whereas in a future publication, it will no longer be part of a bundle. It'll be a separate stamp and die. So you don't save 10%. So if you like it, you might want to grab it now before the end of December. Okay, I always love embossing. It's just kind of magical. All right, now we're going to put our little card together. So I've got a matte piece, just cut a piece of basic white at an 1/8 of an inch bigger than my balmy blue. This is balmy blue, by the way. And I might not have done a great job cutting this one, so I'm going to cut it just the tiniest bit more. A little shave off there. There we go. I just wanted a tiny white border around this. The balmy blue is 3 7/8, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. So then I wanted the this one to be, instead of 5 1/4, it's 5 1/8. So it's like an 1/8 inch all the way around. Okay, and I've got a crumb cake base. I want to glue these two together first off. And by the way, this is already hard. And then I'm going to wrap it with some ribbon. So there is some really pretty natural ribbon in the catalog. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to wrap it. This is from the mini catalog, so it's on the retiring list. It comes in a combo with some copper. It's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it around, but I'm going to give myself a little bit extra, like, you know, maybe 1.5 inches on each side, and cut it. And then I'm going to grab some white baker's twine and move it a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, white baker's twine. And I'm going to tie it around. So it's like tied like that. Make a little bow. All right, so then I'm going to make my bow a little smaller. Pulling on the tails. Okay. And then I'm going to trim these into a nice little kind of angled edge. Like so. And then I want them to lay flat. So I'm going to press on it. You can just press on it and leave it, or if you want to make sure that they're not going to go anywhere, you can add a glue dot behind. Which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the glue dot on this part and press down, and you can do it on both, but I think they'll kind of go together. Another part you might want to glue down, it's just kind of right here, just to make sure it doesn't shift on you. Okay, so there is my little side. I'm doing that thing. Did you ever get a haircut and you wanted it to be, and they keep making it even? And so then you said to take an inch off, and by the time they get it all even, there's like an inch and a half off. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got my base. I'm going to attach that to my crumb cake, like so. And here we can just go ahead and glue that down. I'm really loving the liquid glue these days. I don't know why, but I just keep reaching for it. It's so simple and fast. So, and you can shift if you need to for a second, you know. Okay, anyway, so I've got that down, and now I'm going to go ahead and attach these, and I'm going to pop these up with some dimensionals to give them a little bit of lift. And where are my dimensionals? Here are some. Okay, and I'm going to put a little mini dimensional behind this one, this little star. I forgot to take the backings off. I'm going to put this down first, actually. And then put the base down so I know where it goes. If you want to play around with decorative masks, they also, you know, if you want to think of what else can you do besides embossing paste, they're great with blending brushes. I'm sure you'll see a lot of videos on that. You can look for my, I did a sunflower with the set that I was showing you previously. That turned out really nice, and you can use blending brushes and sponges to get some nice detail with a decorative mask. And I should tell you, I'm going to tell you a little sneak peek, in the upcoming spring, there's going to be a new floral decorative mask. All right, so for the inside, the stamp set gives us a couple other little stamps that we can use. So I'm going to use this one. And this is Poppy Parade, so I'm going to go ahead and use Poppy Parade for my sentiment. They've also added a little snowflake. You can put some of that on the inside too. And I might do that and bring in some of that balmy blue from the outside and put it on the inside. You can just do as many as you like. These are kind of coming down the page. There. And there you go. There's my little card. It's kind of fast, don't you think? Well, especially since I had all these already cut out. And here's the one with the snowflakes that we did at Stamp Camp. Really fun, but I think both are cute, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you subscribe and come back again. Bye.